Katy Perry in 2008, my first Warped Tour, my last band. I don't know how many people were watching for the songs per se, but it was very enjoyable to watch her perform. I loved every second that I saw her grace those stages.
And give it up for Katy Perry. Come on, I want to see everyone's hands in the sky. Back and forward. Let's bring it on home now. Get it up, let's go. One more fucking chance to do it all out, come on.
That was my Katy Perry prime crush, as I like to call it. I don't really have a celebrity crush, but I did on her for like a small period of time. And because she was so rad, like off stage, she knew nothing really about kind of the punk rock scene. She was so green to like touring, and her song was blowing up, and everyone was coming to watch her. And I think it was a lot of people who'd never been to Warped Tour before, and then a lot of people from the Warped Tour scene being like, who's this girl that everyone is like freaking out about and singing these songs. That's probably like one of the last Warped Tours that kind of had someone that went really like that big, like that grew to the point where, you know, obviously it's like an A-list like singer celebrity these days. So it was cool to see like that kind of happening. I think she started smoking weed on Warped Tour. I remember the first time she smoked weed out of an apple, I think was on Warped Tour, and it kind of was just like this. It was funny to me seeing this, you know, dainty girl being so stoked about smoking weed out of an apple. Just like it was like some weird science shit, and she was like all about it. So yeah, it was cool.
It depends on what year. We did it in like, I feel like different eras we did, you know, 2010, 2011, 2014, 2016. And for those eras, like, you know, it was awesome to like, you know, have buddies and bands, and, you know, like of Mice and Men, we came as Romans back in the day. 2011, we were all on the same stage, and that was like super fun. So I was kind of like drawn to those stages. And I think Gym Class Heroes was on that year, or 2010 or something. That was really sick to see.
I mean, she was dating Travie McCoy from Gym Class Heroes. How, I do not know. He was so lucky, and every person ever was like, how? If you didn't believe that you have a chance with someone so far out of your league, that is the best example I could think of. Like, he had no business seeing any part of her, personally speaking. Just knowing that he was right there, the cusp of like peak Katy Perry, it hurts my soul a little bit, you know. I felt like I could have been that guy. I could have guided her.
There's so many bands and so much music going on like at the same time, but you see like a lot of artists totally like flourish their careers off of a tour like Warped Tour, you know what I mean? I'm super thankful to have gotten to do it, you know, the years we did it and everything, and it totally like changed my life big time. That was like the one thing that like before I was even in the Word Alive or whatever, that Word Alive even started, you know, sitting in high school, I was like, God, I just want to do Warped Tour. It'd be so sick.
Warped Tour was different for me because I've only done it one time, and I was actually Luke Holland's drum tech for them at the time. So like, I was out there working a lot, but I didn't really leave my stage. We're on the Monster stage. This was 2014. But what a lot of people don't see behind the stage are like huge semi trucks full of equipment. So pretty much every tech from every band meets in the morning at like 8 o'clock to help unload that trailer. And it's like a big deal if you're late too. So it's like people will shun you for the day if you're late. You know, like this motherfucker like sleeping in. Like, but I mean, for me, yeah, because I always had to be up at 8, you know, or 7:30 or whatnot. And, you know, I couldn't be late. I couldn't goof around too much. So, I don't know. But it's just like, you know, pushing gear's not that hard, you know. It's better than drywall.
Yeah, 2010, we were playing on the Smart Punk stage. And we actually became kind of friends with Pennywise, which was really rad. Watching, like, an iconic punk rock band. And they would like actually sit there, like, so like the stage would be split in half, you know, like in the indoor amphitheater, and sometimes we'd be playing like right before them or right after, and like both our bands would always just like sit on stage and just watch, and then always be like super cool, like, dude, that was sick, you guys are awesome, and just, you know, back and forth on that. So that was a really cool moment. 2014, like, we started becoming really good friends with Beartooth, and it was like right when they were coming out. So Kayla would come out on stage and would sing, you know, Life Cycles with us, and yeah, it was just cool, like, just having friends. That's like the main thing, just having good people around and supporting each other.
Everyone becomes friends, you know what I mean? Like, it's a community. There's like Warped Tour beef, but like that's so stupid, like, and it doesn't really matter, like, you know what I mean? But it's more about, like, I think everyone and like the whole on the tour, like, it's like, oh, you're on Warped Tour, cool, like, you know, like, they're just friends. Like, you'll have no idea who this dude or that dude is, and you're like next to him and like, you know, getting food and stuff and just talking, hanging out, and you're like, yo, that was the dude from, you know, like this band, Main Stage, whatever. And it's like, oh shit, like, he's really cool, like, yeah. So yeah, it's just it's a cool, it's like high school but without like people being stupid.
I met Jeffree Star 10 years almost now. We've been friends, we still are. His life's crazy now. Outside of our genre, like JR from Less Than Jake is probably who I talk to the most. He's probably the overall most supportive person I've ever met in the music industry, especially with like all the genres. Like, he has friends, everyone loves him, and for good reason. He's one of the best dudes, and he'll just reach out to random people all the time and just be like, how are you doing? Like, he's toured long enough that he understands how much like just a simple text can mean to someone who's maybe somewhere in Europe, and he's just like, hey, I know you're away from like family and friends, just want to check in, see how your day's going, like, which is really cool. Like, Travis from We the Kings, me and him became really close pretty much on 2016 Warped Tour. Me, him, and Kellen from Sleeping with Sirens hung out almost every day. And just like having done Warped Tour for several years, growing, you know, relationships with people in different bands, you kind of learn to not take it for granted, because, you know, like, we would probably never do a tour with We the Kings, so we enjoyed you know, the time we got to have on that.
I just want to thank Kevin Lyman and everyone at Warped Tour for allowing our band to play in front of so many new people, new fans, and being able to just be a part of it. It's the best tour, like Zach said previously. Like, it was our dream to play Warped Tour, and the fact that we got to do it for 3 or 4 years, it's just incredible. It's sad to see it go, but it's something that the music community will never forget.